Good afternoon, Six Nations members. I hope this update and message finds you well, safe at home on this Friday afternoon. I first want to begin by acknowledging all of our frontline workers and emergency responders during this difficult time, and especially a big thank you to their families for allowing to share them with us during this time of need. I also want to acknowledge all of our members who are staffing the checkpoints. I know it's a difficult task, and we have still been going through, it started chaotically, but we have been managing to address issues and concerns as they arise, and we will continue to do so. So again, thank you to all of you for continuing to keep us safe. I also want to send my most sincere condolences and prayers to the family and friends of our member who lost their life related to the COVID-19 virus. I can't imagine the amount of stress and hardship that you're going through, and I just want you to know that the elected chief and council, as well as our community, are keeping you all in our prayers. The next piece that I wanted to move on is in regards to where we're currently at, and this is to reiterate part of our health director's message yesterday, which is that we have 9 positive cases, which resulted in 1 death. We have 7 resolved and 1 unresolved at the moment. We currently have 59 people in self-isolation. To date, there have been 191 tests done. Of those 191, 121 of those have come back negative. We are still, again, having concerns about the migrant farmers coming into our territory, and we're looking to, again, have a call out to any of the farmers if they could contact either my office or public health to further go over protocols and procedures and how we could be best addressing that issue. The next piece that I wanted to get into is basically to talk a little bit about council's activities during this time. As you know, in the shift in the way that we have to do business has gone to technology. And so what we've been doing in council is still operating and conducting business via Zoom conference. We are still meeting and have all of our meetings back in place, which is our general councils, which we meet every 2nd and 4th Tuesday, as well as our general finance meetings, which is the 1st and 3rd Monday of the month, as well as our political liaison, which is also the last Monday of the month. Those all meetings continue to happen via Zoom. And media is allowed in there so that we are going to continue to keep our community update with decisions that are being made and how the impact is happening within our community. The other committees that continue to meet as well is our Corporate and Emergency Services Committee, as well as Human Services and Building and Infrastructure. So we've shifted over to Zoom conference, and we are now still conducting business as we have to maintain. The other piece that I wanted to also talk about is the implementation of the COVID-19 subcommittee. So council had passed a terms of reference, which the purpose of the subcommittee was created to review and investigate all COVID-19 related initiatives for reporting and recommendations back to full council. The subcommittee will be responsible for implementing and actionizing the decisions of full council relating to any COVID-19 governance matters. The scope and the mandate of the subcommittee is to coincide with the community emergency and the necessary on-the-ground actions and other activities that may be an outcome of the emergency. Again, part of the mandate and scope of the work will be to liaise with the emergency control group and associated stakeholders and services, to report to full council with emerging recommendations, to investigate and follow up on issues and community concerns, to oversee all COVID-19 communications and work with each of our people within our communications department, review and monitor all emergency control group finances for reporting back to full council, to activate and implement actions and initiatives approved by council, and as well as to meet at its discretion as needed relevant to the community emergency situation. Again, the subcommittee membership consists of councillors Sherry Lynn Hill-Pierce, Michelle Bomberry, Nathan Wright, and Wendylan Johnson, as well as myself, who again look to this scope and mandate and provide back full details and recommendations to full council. The term of the subcommittee will be in effect for the duration of the COVID-19 community crisis. Moving into the other piece that I just wanted to have a conversation on and to update is, we realize and understand the importance of our economy. What we have been doing and maintaining as the top priority is the health and safety of all of our members. And in keeping that in mind and at the top priority, we now have to shift over to say, how are we going to protect our economy? And what does that look like? We have retained legal to help us assist in looking at health and safety, potential health and safety code of conduct, which will then again look to implementing strict protocols and measures in place in terms of the different businesses in our community. I know that many of the businesses have been impacted by the restriction of access by COVID-19. We're seeing it happening not only in this province and country, but around the globe. And we're doing everything that we can and working diligently around the clock to make sure that we're putting businesses as well in hearing them and their concerns and addressing those concerns, as well as advocating for them. We're doing, again, our best in working with the timing of things. We had put out a business support package. We are working with both provincial and federal governments to make sure that we are advocating best, again, for our business people in seeing and knowing that our community is a very entrepreneurial community, and our industry, the impact of the tobacco industry and things like that. We are definitely looking and working on those ways on how we can be able to go back to business. It's not to say that we're going to be opening the restriction of access back to normal business. We need to be able to do this properly, to do it smart, strategically, and to make sure that the approach is a phased approach. The last thing that we want to see is another influx of traffic in non-residents coming to our territory, and then we have a further outbreak within COVID-19. That is not what our intentions, that is not what we plan to do. We again are maintaining the health and safety of everybody in this community at this time, and we'll do so in conjunction with looking to the support packages and the constant conversations that we're having with both provincial and federal governments, in addition to the legal team that we have retained in order to make sure that we can see these health and safety code of conducts, and also to do it in conjunction and support with everybody in our community. The other piece that I wanted to talk about a little bit is on education and our students. And so I've been in conversations, and our counselors has also been in assistance of, we have issues with internet, and we have issues with, again, some of our students accessing. Some don't have devices to do it, some don't have the internet connection to do it, some have very low internet signal. And so we're working with this diligently with our partners at the federal government, as well with the RDG, Kathleen Manderville. We've recognized that there's roughly about 170 students out of 1,100 students that basically have no devices or internet connection. The teachers in schools are still looking to get in touch with other students and parents at home. And we have happy to announce that we were successful in our application of the provision of $500,000, which will go towards supporting and purchasing roughly about 500 units of iPads that will include unlimited internet. The goal is to make sure that the students who most need these are getting these first and foremost, and that, again, we're looking to the bigger picture of providing in looking at possibly the implementation of more towers for the long-term picture of our internet issue. Again, we want to also do a pilot project that we're looking at, and more details will be forthcoming on that piece. But again, we want to make sure that we're looking at this crisis not just in the focus of one area, but the bigger picture. Making sure that we're advocating and we're supporting and we're addressing issues both of our business people, our business community, our students, our community in general, our seniors, our elders. Everybody has a role to play, and we have to be able to best support and advocate for them on their behalfs. So we'll continue to provide updates as we continue to get the information. The other piece that I think I also wanted to just to mention is part of the initiatives that we want to take in implementation, in collaborating with our community partners in organizations. I know we've been talking about, there's no other time right now than the importance of food security. And I think, what we have to do in looking at, providing, I've been talking with different partners so far on the providing a program to have your own garden at home. So that's an example of an initiative that part of the subcommittee is going to be looking at and basically drawing out what that initiative can look like and how it could work and who could be able to partner and help us with that. And I know, again, that's just one example of the initiatives that we have planned and talked about. We want to be able to see the good in the bad, and we want to be able to address these issues as they come. Moving into the other area in terms of government relations, my office has been in contact on the daily basis with both provincial and federal representatives. We continue to look at the bigger picture, and again, in best advocating for our community in terms of any resources that is coming our way, any support needed, in making sure that we're addressing the needs of the now, and also into the future and the impacts of COVID-19, specifically to Six Nations. The other area that I wanted to just touch on as well is the financial impact. Again, this ties in, we need to be able to have our team be able to say, where are we financially? We have to be fiscally and financially responsible. And we want to make sure that our community will be provided with a report as to exactly where we're at in terms of this emergency, what it has costs, what's been spent to date, what has been provided by both provincial and federal governments. And again, we want to provide this report as soon as possible. So you'll be seeing that forthcoming as well, because again, throughout all of this emergency, we still have a responsibility to be fiscally responsible. And I just wanted to make that note. The other piece, again, that I just in closing, I still want to be able to remind everybody that we must remain on guard to keep the virus out of our community. We're seeing our numbers, and I'm thankful for our numbers as of right now, as they have decreased and people are recovering from the virus. However, it's not over yet, and we have to continue these measures that we are taking. So again, if you have or are experiencing any of the following symptoms of COVID-19, which include fever, sore throat, sneezing, shortness of breath, nasal congestion, difficulty swallowing, cough, runny nose, if you're expected to call the Six Nations COVID Assessment Center at 226-446-9909 or toll free at 1-855-977-7737. Again, we're asking everybody to please stay home to protect the health and wellness of everybody here. Again, I want to also advise to please continue to follow our social media platforms and website, sixnationscovid19.com, for more information on all of our resources available, as well as the most updated information. So again, please stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe. And together we will get through this. Thank you, Nyawa, and have a good weekend.